My first impression of coffee shop was during my primary school days when my parents bring me to the coffee shop to tapao food for dinner. It's very hot and humid. It's very dirty. It's a very tough job because the store spaces are very small. So personally, I don't enjoy going to a coffee shop, but I still look forward to the nice local food over there. To me, ban mian is a comfort food because it's light on the palate and it's something that's easy to eat. We serve quite a wide variety of noodles. Customers can choose from you mian, ban mian, or mee hoon kueh. Other than our soup-based noodles, we are actually more well known for our dry noodles, such as our cod fish ban mian. We sell about 100 bowls of dry noodles a day. We will use our secret recipe dry noodle sauce, freshly cooked pork lard, and sambal chili. One of the most popular dish on our menu is our signature dry noodle set, which consists of a bowl of our signature dry noodle, a piece of chicken cutlet, and a bowl of soup.
I'm a private chef that likes chicken a lot. I will go around the world to eat fried chicken. Very generous, the serving. The chicken tastes very fresh. The crust is crispy and the meat is very tender. The noodle is chewy and the sauce marries the ingredients, the noodles, so it makes it very tasty. I think the young people will like this dish.
I was studying hospitality business in Singapore Institute of Technology. So during my last year, COVID hit. It was difficult to get a full-time job, especially in this tourism industry. I went online to search for business opportunities. Initially, I was looking for something like a bubble tea shop or cafe, which would be easier for me to handle. However, I chanced upon this noodle store listing. This was actually the first opportunity that came by. My sister and I came down to the store. We met the couple and we actually talked with them. They are very surprised and shocked that at such a young age, we are actually interested in doing this business because she herself also has a daughter and a son, but none of them are interested.
At that time, I was still schooling, but I accompanied Catherine to give her some moral support. And I also had the intention to join her after I graduate. So we actually have discussed whether to go into this trade of being a hawker, but we eventually decided that something has to start from nothing. So we eventually decided to take a leap of faith to try out.
他们来跟我讲，他要当小贩，我是吓到啦。把他们回答我，他们很要去尝试。
So we took over this store in 2020 for around 7K from an elderly China couple. We used all our savings on this takeover. We shadowed the couple for 1 month to learn everything, how to cook the soup, how to serve customers, etc.
We had the mindset that they just asked us to do what, we just do what. But we didn't think so much of like, oh, how will it be when they are done? Yeah.
So we think from a worker point of view.
When the elderly couple left for China, there was no one we could ask for help. We didn't know what time is it we have to cook the soup, what time is it we have to marinate the meat.
In the end, we have no choice but to figure out ourselves.
Every day, my mom and I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to catch the first bus to travel from Yishun to Hougang. It takes us approximately 1 hour.
我们全家人都没有饮食业经验，因为没有人帮他，所以我就帮他们咯。
那个卤的水有开给他煮吗？
什么东西？
卤的水呀、有开给他滚吗？
When we first run the store independently, it was a different story. It was really very chaotic. I got a deep cut on my finger on the first day. We got complaints from customers because noodles were undercooked. Serving the noodles and not spilling the soup at the same time is a challenge to us. And sometimes, we actually mix up the noodles because we are unable to recognize the customers. My sister will come in later because she has to attend school before this. I come here every day to help out.
二姐，那个鱼还有吗？
会议，
鱼还有准备好吗？
鱼还有吗？要装吗？
不要装，我是问准备好。
还有。It was really very tiring, and I have never thought that I would be like able to stand for 14 to 15 hours a day. It's the toughest thing that you can ever imagine. There was quite a few incidents that we always get scolded by customer. So the customer, she added like 50 cent bitter gourd. Then she complained that the bitter gourd is very little.
不好意思，我们会 reflect back on 我们的那个 process， so sorry 啊。像你所想的，可能 so this is our mistake， 吃完我们请你吃咯，不好意思啊。
I think we always face this kind of like situation where people always think that food is expensive, but then they don't understand like the cost behind of running all these. They think that we want to like increase the price and like cheat them or what, but it's not true lah. Yeah.
Sometimes you will face this kind of complaints, yeah. When things go well, you don't let it get into your head. When things don't go well, don't let it get into your heart. Also, we just reflect back on really that do we charge the customer a very high price? Since young, I always wanted to become a nurse. So I went on to NUS to pursue a degree in nursing. But I decided to join working at the store after graduation because at that point of time, I think it was too tiring for my mom. Because of the very long working hours, my mom had sciatica and she couldn't help out at the store. So it was left with Catherine alone.
太痛了，没有办法，连起床也起不到，然后就进医院咯，就在床上躺了3个月，我就很担心，可以去一个人怎样做。幸亏凯恩刚好2021年毕业，就来帮忙哦。
I felt that it was a pity to like give up because we have went through so much, yeah. So I decided to help her after my graduation. My life decisions is actually based on a value that I believe that whether I will regret this decision if it was not made. Yeah. So I gave myself 2 years. We try out and see how it goes. Even if anything goes wrong, I can still go back to nursing. During the first 6 months, business was quite bad. With only $300 a day for our sales, we have to cover the rental costs, our manpower costs, and also the ingredients costs. It was a very difficult period. I didn't take salary for the first year because we simply couldn't afford it. I feel like giving up every day, but I never give up. Because I always feel giving up is an easy option.
We wanted to do better, and we have to find out the problem of our slow business. We actually gather feedback from our customers, and the most feedback was actually the inconsistent noodle texture.
So when we first took over from the China couple, they taught us how to make all the noodles from scratch. But it was hard for us to achieve the correct consistency because their recipe is mainly based on adoration. After a lot of trial and error, we actually found the right proportion to create the right consistency. So after that, we outsourced the manufacturing process to a supplier to help us produce the yu mian and ban mian. But we still produce our mi hun gui over here from scratch. Because previously we used the China truffles recipe and it didn't work well. So I asked my mom for advice and she gave us this particular flour that she always used to make mi hun gui at home. The texture of this kind of flour is actually very soft and chewy and it's very different from the China truffles recipe. So we import a particular type of flour from Malaysia to do it. A lot of customers say the mi hun gui gave them a nostalgic feel of the old times. Customers like our mi hun gui and it has become one of our best sellers. Our business did improve significantly.
There aren't that many places you can find it, especially the good ones. You look at the texture, it's very uneven. It's very clear that they are using their hands to tear it instead of using the machine to cut it. By the virtue of the variation of the thickness, you also get the taste of the pasta very well.
Now we have the right noodles. The next step is to improvise on our menu. We actually went around Singapore to try other people's ban mian and see how we can improve on our own. We also wanted to incorporate new dishes to appeal to younger crowd. For example, we have chicken cutlet ban mian to appeal to the kids. Even now, we are still in the process of revamping our menu. After the few months of introducing the new dishes, we actually saw a pickup in business.
We have actually built up our own regular customer base.
And we managed to get our salary. So that's why we decided to renew the contract.
By the end of year 2022, that's when we started to hire workers to help out at the stores, to lighten our workload. And we can look beyond our operational things and see if there's other expansion opportunities.
Part of my job is to communicate with our tenants. As an F&B operator, we are always on constant lookout for young hawkers because this hawker industry is actually very aging. It's except those chain store, but those really young homegrown hawker are getting much lesser. So when these young people come in, we really welcome them. I find that they are very committed. When you are able to survive the COVID period, you are very good.
It's not easy to get a transport at this hour, so we rented a room at Hougang area so that we can walk to the store within 10 minutes. The reason I need to get up at this hour is because we took over our neighbour store in March 2023. There's actually endless of work that needs to be done because customers will come in at around 6 a.m. store was initially run by an elderly couple, but they have a shortage of manpower, and I helped them out for a period of time. I helped out at the vegetarian store for about 2 months, while my sister ran the noodle store with our newly hired employee. Of course, the elderly couple paid me for helping them. Auntie, 那动物来啊？
动物来了
我煮米香片咯。
我煮还是你煮？
我煮。
OK。
They check with us if we are interested to take over their store, and they will be helping us with all the recipe and teach us how to cook the gravy and everything. Also because we also see opportunity in the plant-based market, so we hope to give it a try. We actually requested to pay the takeover fee in installment, and the couple agreed. That's how we actually afford the takeover fee lah. Recently, we have just changed our signboard to Sunshine Vegetarian to give our vegetarian store a new branding. Then, the coffee shop manager offered us an expansion opportunity to open our noodle store at another location.
I think there is certainly no gauge on whether the new location will be doing well or not, but we need to outgrow ourselves in this one Ban Mian store. We opened our second outlet in October 2023 in Tampines. The third store in Hougang in December, which is about 3 months after. The approximate distance is about 30 minutes bus ride from our first store. We didn't expect that we will expand within a very short span of time.
For now, I'm more in charge of the vegetarian side, while she's more in charge of the Ban Mian side. Running for store is more of the management of your staff. A lot of coordination. We have to always go down to check on the quality of the food and service quality, if they are treating the customers well.
This is what I do on a daily basis. I travel from store to store to check on the food consistency and to see if the staff encounter any issues that they cannot solve. Right now, I'm going to Tampines for one night.
The things they will come up from us. When I come, I just have to check any of the things that the staff cannot settle. Like for example, electricity trip and like the water pipe burst, then I have to help them find ways to solve the problem. Okay, bye. I have to go to Hougang.
Definitely I feel tired lah, but I still need to be there for the staff when they need me. So now that we have 3 noodles outlets, we have to maintain the standards of the food quality. We have this automated noodle boiler and we have an onsen egg machine. So it ensures that all the eggs cooked will be of a perfect texture.
This KL chili banh mi is not commonly found in most banh mian stores. The chili is very unique here as they added this fried shrimp to it, and it adds to the aroma of the chili. I feel that although it packs a punch, it can be more spicy.
KL chili is actually a recipe for my grandmother. So the unique point of this KL chili is that we use a lot of dried shrimp. We make everything from scratch every week. So the proportion of our dried shrimp to chili is actually around 3:1.
When people approach us with opportunities of expansion, we'll analyze, is the team ready? Are we ready? Like, do we have enough manpower? This is our latest venture, Green by Choice. We took over this restaurant in January 2024. We hesitated for very long before taking over this restaurant. This is actually a huge investment for us. And second, because we do not have any experience in running and operating a restaurant, which is very different from running a food store.
One of our concerns will be financially will be more cash-strapped because of this.
In the end, we still went ahead with this business venture because we see a huge opportunity in the plant-based market. Also, we want to target a different customer group who are more willing to pay a slightly higher price for good quality vegetarian food.
Now with all the expansion in our business, we work 7 days a week and 365 days a year. Even on Chinese New Year Eve, we are still always working on the ground. So the reason why we have to know of this, because it is like our baby that we have to take care of. Whether there's emergency issues, there's any staffing issues, we need to be immediate response for it. We started off with half a store to right now where we are, where we have 3 noodle stores, 1 vegetarian store, and 1 vegetarian restaurant.
The journey to get here is really very tough and challenging. Now that I think of it, for what we have gone through, I don't think we would have the courage to start all over again.